Okay, this is another tutorial. We're gonna do some mapping on a simple box, but I think it will be quite good to map whatever surface, especially planar, we're gonna see. Okay, let's start by creating a floor and in R and scaling this so we can have a floor there. And I'm gonna create a box, simple box, and also scale it. Take it up, W, and there we have it. Okay, good. Next step is very simple. We assign materials, no? So we're gonna go to Windows, Render Editor, and Hypershape. It's gonna open hopefully soon. Great. And I'm gonna select a simple two Lambert, very simple classic ones. One for the floor and the other one um, for the box. So I select the floor, right click, assign material to selection, and I also select it and name it here as floor. Now I select the box, right click, assign material to selection, and once again select the material and say box. No, good. So they're applied, so it's good. I'm gonna close the hypershade window, and we're gonna see what we have. Press 6 here. We're gonna shade it. No, and there's no materials that are very simple gray. So remember that you can also press the object here and go to the material, which is the last tab of it. So I'm gonna change, like just to make sure that this is clear. This is the color. So what we want to do, actually, let me change the color of the floor first for floor material. I'm gonna put it like quite white, and then I'm gonna go to the material of the box, which is here. And instead of a color, as you obviously know, we can change by clicking in the checkbox here, instead of a color, assigning an image. Okay, so we can also assign an image instead of transparency, instead of the bump, etc., etc. We're going to see the image for the color and the image for the bump in this case. So we press here, and this comes up. We can assign whatever image that Maya has for us, but I'm going to assign a file image, which is basically search for a file within your own computer. And I'm going to go to stone bricks that I have here, and I'm going to select it, open. So this is an image that I'm going to use as a material. I'm going to say open, and because we are in the 6, we have pressed 6, and actually it's basically this option that says shade all textured. We're going to be able to see the image. Okay, so that image is also here. We can check, and by selecting on the box, we have a sample of that material here. So as you can see, this kind of turns off in a way, and it's changed from a checker box to like a little play button that you can press and go directly to the file editor and all that. Okay, so let's go to the material. As you can see, and this is going to be the classic problem, of course, in all your constructions, is that the image doesn't fit with the scale that you really want. So we need to change the scale of the image. No, so there's several ways to do it. I'm going to mention two. First of all, I'm going to mention 3 actually. The first one I always like to do is just go directly to automatic mapping and pressing that, and it kind of already gives you like several planes here that you can tweak in a way by pressing here. Start scaling things down and up, and etc., etc. So that's a good way to start, like just pressing automatic, and it's good. Now the way I like to do it is go face by face, because most of the times you actually need to change one face and not all of them. So what I like to do is go to right click and say face, select the face that I want to change. It highlights in a yellow green tone, and you can say create UV and planar mapping. Now I'm gonna go to options, and you should have best plane and x-axis as the most convenient way, and then you're gonna say apply. As you can see, I'm gonna close that. It has immediately projected the entire image to that face, And now it's very simple to move by clicking on each of these guys and changing the scale of it as you wish. Okay, so I'm gonna make like kind of like that. It's good. And I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna go to object mode, select the object, and again face. Select this face and do create UV. By the way, we are in polygons, so if you don't see that here, it's because you're somewhere else. You're in I don't know. You must be in animation or whatever. You select the face, and we go to planar mapping, and again, that's good. It fits, and we can move it if you want it. It'll be a little bigger, bigger in this sense. We can also go here to the rotate angle. Let me span this and rotate this, which is very convenient. For example, if we have, you know, if we want to have the bricks in the opposite direction, we just press here 90, and there we go. You have it vertically. And this rotation is going to be very useful for bricks and things that have a specific direction. No? Okay, so I'm going to go back with that to 0. And I'm going to do again this face, and I'm going to also do the planar mapping. You see, in this case, we probably want to rotate it 90 degrees and probably scale it a little bit so it matches with this one. And it's all a matter now of adjusting them to the exact same dimension. Very simple. Planar mapping. Let me fix this so it's the same. There we go. It's perfectly the same, and they should meet. Okay, so that's another way to do that. Another way to do this perfect connection is by selecting the object and going to edit UVs and say UV texture editor. Now this is like the most I would say complex, but at the same time complete. Like, you will find that each of the faces are represented here. I'm going to press this to move. You see, this is representing this face in relationship to your image, which is this one. This is the complete image. This is the line in relationship to that image. So you can obviously press R now here and scale this in different ways, and it will automatically adjust here. So it's also a 2D way of adjusting faces in relation to image in an exact way, you know. So I'm gonna go back. It was fitting. Okay, this is a way working very interestingly. You can, you know, do this type of changes until you find out your perfect position. So it's good. Okay, I'm gonna close that. So those are the 3 in terms of planner. Obviously, if you have a sphere, you will definitely not use planar mapping, but a spherical mapping, and it will pretty much bring the same option that you're going to be able to change the mapping very easily. And cylindrical for cylinders, etc., etc. And the automatic is the one we used before, no? Good. So what we have here, and let's put a light here to show. I'm going to press a light that it's this guy here called the area light. It's pretty much a plane. I'm gonna press James to rotate it exactly 90 degrees, and I'm gonna rotate it like that, and I'm gonna scale it because the scale is quite important in the sense of how much light it gives. And I'm gonna also rotate this guy a little bit so we have a more tricky effect. So let's see and render this. It's probably gonna be, I'm going to scale also the floor so it comes out of the scene. I'm going to use, of course, the corner that I have fixed, and I'm going to render this and see what happens. Yep. So actually we see it like totally bright, so we don't want that. Eventually we have to select the light itself and decrease the intensity to 0. I don't know, like 2. It seems like the floor is white and everything's quite white, so let's render this. There we go. It still is quite bright. It's probably also too close by, so let's just take it up and put it like far away, and let's see now if it goes better. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's not the perfect thing, but why not? Could be interesting to show like that. I'm going to rotate it to put actually the faces that we want in the illumination area. Put myself here. I'm going to select the light here, and remember, all the lights do not have shadows applied directly, so we're going to have to actually go to the shadows and the depth map shadow attributes, and press this guy here, and you can once again, just increase a little bit the resolution. Let's see what we have here. Should be super simple, of course. It's not taking any time, which is very convenient, etc., etc. Now probably I want to increase it, and so it's back and forth. I'm going to put a 4. Okay, and I'm going to place myself here and render it. Oh, very simple. Now it's quite flat, so this is the next step. It's very important. If you select the box and we go to the material, which is at the end box, we can also go to Hyper Shade, select the material directly, but anyway, we're going to assign the bump mapping image to it, and I'm going to press that checkbox here and select File, and I'm going to go to File to here and select the folder to assign, and now I have a prepared image that comes from Photoshop, and I pretty much explained that in class, so you should know this very easily. Like stone brick is the same image as this one, but I applied several levels and contrast, so it actually it's a black and white image where the black is corresponding where I want my bump, basically my bump effect. Okay, so if I open that, you're gonna be able to change the depth of that map, and not in my computer because you cannot allow it, but if you actually press now both 7 and high and the shadows and this guy, which is the high definition, you're going to be able to see live how the bump is created there. I'm not seeing. I'm going to have to render to see it actually. So let's do it. Okay, so you see it's extremely exaggerated, but it fits perfectly. The black areas are pretty much coming up and down, and of course the bump is so aggressive that we kind of lost a little bit of the image. So the normal way to go is go to the bump here and reduce the depth to 0.1 or something, or you decide how much you want to change that bump feeling. So here is much less, and it's a Lambert, doesn't have reflections. We could have worked with instead of a Lambert with Bleen or with the Fong to have some reflections and reduce the reflectivity. So probably for this material would have been better, actually, the Fong. But it's just an example to show you guys how to do this mapping. So I hope it's clear that at least the planar mapping is quite straightforward within polygons and create UVs. Planar mapping, remember, in options to go to best plane. Okay, I think it's done there. Great.